What's up, nerds? Welcome to Nintendo Powblock's Expansion Pack, our weekly show on Mondays at noon right here on Nerds Gone Rogue YouTube page. I'm Corey, and joining me as always is Edward and Jesse. I gotta point the right way because
hi guys.
It's backwards. Like, recording is backwards, so Jesse's over here and Edward's over here. Even though on Skype, Edward's over here and Jesse's over here. So,
and you know what? It's funny because sometimes when I do Arsenal X and I point to like you, I'll be like Corey Dirrig, and then it's like my hands is on Jesse's face.
Yeah, I know, and that's why like on some of the videos when you point at me and say Jesse, I'm like. I go like this on the videos. Oh man. I love recording podcasts and stuff. This is
behind the scenes stuff is so fun.
This is literally my favorite thing to do. Like, if I could just do this all the time, I would do it every day, all day. But we're not here to talk about podcasting. We're here to talk about, we're here to answer your questions. Remember to email the show at nintendopowblock@gmail.com with the subject line expansion pack, and we will read your questions. And we have a contest going up, so you could be the winner of a contest.
Yes.
I forgot to mention that in the last episode, but that question was also eligible for this contest. So, Antonio Martinez asks, I was wondering if you guys thought Nintendo would ever consider expanding Labo outside of Switch and software, or incorporating modes of real games that take advantage of the new product. Ed, we were just talking about this.
Yes,
yesterday.
we did a mini direct.
Yeah.
For this. So, Jesse, let's hear from you first, because me and Corey did a mini direct about this topic. We want to hear your side.
Okay, well, I mean, I guess I kind of touched on it a little bit too. I mean, like, you know, I could see, you know, I kind of said in our React that I could see them being like an addition that you can get like along the line or along the way. You can like have certain things that will go along with regular Nintendo games, like say, you know, Donkey Kong or whatever, and then they'll have like specialty things, kits that you can get to use to interact with you know, all of Nintendo's games, and not just these specific Labo games. And, you know, like, kind of like I said, where you could have like your own Kirby, you know, controller, you know, thing, instead of using the black, you know, thing that the Joy-Cons slide into. You could, you know, just make your own style of whatever game that you like and get stuff like that. Or, you know, like if there's certain, like in a Zelda game, you know, in the past we've had where you could fish, you know, in the Zelda game and Ocarina of Time, like if they had certain things that you could use, and in the game, like you would be able to use that thing to do the fishing part, or, you know, like just basically kind of slide it in as an option for, you know, playing those games differently. So I could see them doing that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, I could see them kind of like, if this thing takes off, I think Switch is kind of like the gateway for this. And I could really see them going off and really like teaming up with someone like Connects or Erector's Set. I don't know if those are even still available. I don't even know.
Yeah,
but like,
they are.
You know, like Lego or something, you know, someone that they have a working relationship with and can have like motorized, you know, little motorized pieces that could help them make things. You know, I just think the Switch is a gateway, and it's already something that they have available for people. And if people want to invest in these side things, they can for Switch. I really think they can move into hey, let's actually build an RC car together. You know, let's actually build something that can move on its own, or an RC car, or you know, I think there are things for Nintendo to expand the product into those things. It doesn't have to be Switch related. And I was reading an interesting article on I think it was either GameSpot or IGN or something, where it, you know, it says Labo isn't for adults, and that's okay. And I think that article had really solid statement in saying like Nintendo is a toy company first. Nintendo is always looking to expand the brand past video games, even though that's what we know them for. You know, they didn't make video games for like 80 something years. They were in business. So like, you know, video games are just one side of their business. And now that they're expanding into movies and expanding into theme parks, like that doesn't mean they can't expand their range of products that they offer people now too. You know, we've already seen action figures and stuff. Why not, you know, give us sets of things that people can build, you know, and people can like kind of like Lego sets for Nintendo stuff, you know, and I think it would really fit the brand, you know, outside of video games. So
a lot of parents who are engineers are super stoked for this. And the reason why I say that is because, you know, they build and they create and they have to think outside the box and design and stuff. And when they found out about this with their kids, they could bring what mom and dad do in the engineering business, they could give their kids an idea of what they do. So with Nintendo hitting this market, first of all, that's pretty cool. I still believe, and I really hope that it is successful. And like I said yesterday, regardless of the jokes and everything, this was a smart move. Microsoft and Sony would never take a business move like this. Yes, they won't. They're trying to entertain, and they are a business. But
well, I mean, even if you look at Microsoft and Sony that way, like they aren't just about video games either. They're into technology. Like that's their brand is technology, whereas Nintendo's brand is toys. They are toys, and you know, we just happen to be on the tech side of the toy company that is Nintendo. And so like, you know, while Sony's over here building big TVs and Microsoft's building computer software programs and everything, like, you know, one aspect of their business is video games, whereas Nintendo's one aspect of theirs is video games. And like, that's fine. But like the biggest part of Nintendo right now in our minds is video games. And like now they're expanding and people are like, you know, freaking out because, oh, they're making cardboard stuff. But at the same time, like you said, Ed, I like this idea because it teaches kids how to use their brains and light engineering skills, creativity. You know, they're going to be able to customize some of these things with, you know, I think a lot of the packs come with markers or something that they can, you know, create and customize their stuff. The putting the Joy-Con in a cardboard cutout and watching it go and using the touchscreen as a remote and watching a remote control car just moving by the motorized function of the Joy-Con was amazing to watch.
Yeah, and the thing about it is Ubisoft Starlink, if we want to touch on third party, think how cool it would be to also have that Nintendo Labo partner, like doing something really exclusive for that game for Switch. That you buy a kit that you can build your own kind of star, your own kind of spaceship, and be able to use that to fly in that game. That literally be cool. So not only is Ubisoft making money off of their game and their accessories, Nintendo is also helping to it. And people gonna be like, oh, this is a Nintendo exclusive. Let me bring that into my game. You know, think about it. Star Fox's ship, Clouds, not Clouds. I cannot think of the Fox name. Fox McCloud. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Think of his ship being in Starlink and using Nintendo Labs for it. I hope I was saying it right. Oh, go ahead, Jesse.
Well, I was gonna say, like another thing too, like that we haven't really heard anything from that could, I think, could kind of benefit from this is like pilot wings or something like that too.
Yeah.
Like you could have where you can kind of customize your own airplane with the thing and some, you know, and it would be able to, like, you could customize it in person and actually, you know, have like use it somehow, put the Joy-Cons on it to use it, and then you can like fly it in the game, you know, and actually pick like the parts that you're using in the cardboard you could pick in the game, so you kind of have the same the same thing in the game as you made, in person. So.
Yeah. It just think people who buy Transformers and paint those, like, this is America's version of that. I know they do a lot of that still in Japan, but they do it with Gundam, Transformers, Voltron, and all these other like robotic animes and like hobbies. To do that as a kid, and like we said on the mini direct, Corey, to see adult men and women buy this stuff and show off their creativity and their art, it's going to be amazing to see. People are laughing at it, but I bet you look on, if you see Facebook and on Twitter and other social medias that people custom making boards and stuff, it's going to be amazing to see. Just as people laughed at Amiibo, and then you see all the customization Amiibos that came on pictures, and everybody was loving those, wishing for that.
Yeah, I mean, you're gonna look at people like, you're gonna see like real engineers or people that are like good at like designing and putting things into 3D printers. Like, you're gonna see them actually take these designs that Nintendo made out of this cardboard stuff, and they're gonna make it better, and they're gonna make it like, you look at the RC car, they're gonna be able to take the ideas that Nintendo has given them and expand on them. And watch, somebody's gonna build an RC car 6 months after this comes out, and it's gonna only use the rumble of the Joy-Con, and it's going to be able to move forward, backward, left, right, up, down. Like, they're going to use the technology in the Joy-Con and really see how they can push the limits of it.
And then, if Animal Crossing uses this also, dude, it's going to be crazy to see people build houses from Animal Crossing or build land. Like, have an Animal Crossing Nintendo Lab set. Dude, that's going to make Nintendo more money, because everybody gonna be like, well, I could build Tom Nook. And you watch, you're gonna see people who have Nintendo Lab and Amiibo for Animal Crossing, and they're going to build their own Animal Crossing town. Even if it's just for looks, you're gonna be buying this stuff, and it's going to look amazing.
Yeah.
One other thing I kind of I was thinking about when we were originally watching the trailer for the Labo, is I wouldn't be surprised if we maybe in the future seen like a specialty controller thing where you snap the Joy-Cons in that has like an augmented reality camera on it. And be able to use like the stuff, this Labo stuff, and actually use that camera to digitally like bring it into the game as well, like things like that. Because I mean, I think they did a really good job with it on the 3DS. Now, mind you, like, there's not a whole lot that they really used it for, but I mean, that technology that they used in it could work really well with stuff like this. And
they could incorporate that as a patch or some kind of technology into the Switch, so that you can use your 3DS, 2DS to do that. Yeah. Yeah, I like that idea, Jesse.
Yeah. Yeah. So the second part of this question, I think, is kind of something we talked about too, Ed, is like adding a mode for already existing games, or like the real, quote unquote, real games that are coming out for Switch, and adding modes that will take advantage of, some of the free. What if they make, like, they've come out and said that they're going to make free designs and cutouts for stencils available for people on their website. So that'd be cool. But like taking, the one example that we used, Ed, was Yoshi, the new Yoshi game, right?
Yes.
It's all about cardboard cutouts and stuff. What if they just had a mode in there that, allowed you to experience Labo in a different way? Like, you could still experience the whole game, find all the collectibles, whatever. They just had a separate game mode on the menu that said Labo compatible game mode or whatever. And it was like kind of like almost like a VR egg shooting gallery, or building your own Yoshi to walk around, or something like that.
I could see that. A lot of people don't realize that this is kind of a resurgence of arts and crafts.
Yeah.
Adults who haven't did it in a while are excited about this. And if this can make people go out and want to revisit a hobby that they miss, then yeah. The new Yoshi game is a perfect fit to show off what it could do for an actual game. I would love to see people build a cardboard version of Yoshi and see him moving around with his legs.
Yeah.
Or have the Joy-Con in his arms lifting up and down so it could do the reticle for throwing the eggs or the yarn or whatever. I would love to see that. Mm-hmm. And I know there are going to be some engineers who could make that happen.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I think it could be expanded in so many ways we haven't even touched on, and we've only known about it for like a day, and we're not exactly engineers or anything, but I think it's fun to think about how this thing could expand outside video games, and I think that that's the market they're aiming for, and the Switch is just the gateway into that. So let us know what you think about Labo, what you think could happen outside of video games and stuff. So remember, expansion pack, you can find it every Monday at noon right here on Nerds Gone Rogue. Email the show, nintendopowblock@gmail.com, with the headline expansion pack if you want your question read on expansion pack or on the podcast in general. So download Nintendo Power Block every Tuesday and Friday. Jesse and Edward and Corey, until next week, we love you.
Bye, everybody. Woo-hoo.